Hey guys, this is Chip, a licensed marriage and family therapist. What is it most men say are two top things they would like in their marriage? Relationship expert Dr. John Gottman shares in his book, The Man's Guide to Women, his finding of what most of us men want in our marriages: more sex, less fighting. And I can tell you something from the therapy room that may surprise you. The men who get both of those are the men who consistently start with one specific thing. And it's probably not what you think. It's not being more charming. It's not being more romantic. It's not doing more around the house so you can earn intimacy later. It's this: they respond well with compassion and understanding. That, more than anything, determines the level of emotional connection in the relationship, and emotional connection is the engine that drives a healthy sexual connection. So today, I want to talk to you man to man, brother to brother, about why so many wives quietly start pulling away, why the physical intimacy drops, and what you can actually do about it if you want a closer marriage and a more vibrant sex life. Let's jump in. I want you to hear this clearly. Most divorces I see are initiated by wives, and they rarely start with something dramatic like an affair or abuse. They start with something more subtle. It's this: failed repair attempts. Something hurts her. She brings it to you, and instead of moving toward her, you get defensive, tell her why she's wrong, you shut down, or you get irritated. Meanwhile, she walks away with one small but powerful conclusion: if I bring this up, it won't go well. And here's what men don't realize: every time a repair attempt fails, emotional safety drops, and so does sexual desire. It's all connected. Emotional disconnection always shows up in the bedroom long before it shows up in a courthouse. John Gottman's research shows this very clearly. When husbands are not open and responsive to their wives, the relationship declines and divorce becomes far more likely. You want to know why? It's because when she no longer feels safe emotionally, she will not feel safe sexually. Desire is built on safety, passion is built on connection. Sex thrives in a climate where a woman feels understood, valued, and emotionally held. If you want more sex, you need to start by becoming emotionally accessible. Let me ask you a question, man to man. When your wife is hurting, do you move toward her or away? If she slipped and fell in the driveway, you wouldn't stand over her and lecture her about walking more carefully. You'd run to her. You'd stay with her. You'd ask, where does it hurt? Emotional pain deserves the same instinct. If she says she's hurt, you don't get to debate that. If she says you hurt her, even unintentionally, you don't get to dismiss that either. Just like she wouldn't tell you your pain is invalid. That's what emotional safety looks like. Because here's the truth: a woman who feels emotionally unsafe will not likely be sexually responsive. A woman who feels emotionally cherished becomes more open, more playful, and more affectionate. Wives rarely pull away sexually just out of the blue. It's almost always something that follows an emotional pattern. She feels unheard. She feels alone with her own pain. She feels dismissed. She feels like she has to protect herself. And here's the part most men miss: sexual withdrawal is almost always emotional self protection, not rejection of you. She's not avoiding you, she's avoiding the hurt she feels when she tries to connect with you emotionally. And here's the good news: if you rebuild the safety, the desire can return. Here's the thing I want you to do: learn to respond instead of defend. When she brings something to you, she isn't testing you. She's inviting you into her heart. And look, sometimes she won't bring it up perfectly. Sometimes the conversation starts with criticism, accusation, or a harsh tone. Gottman actually calls this a harsh startup, and it's incredibly common. But hear me, men. A harsh startup usually means she's scared, overwhelmed, or losing hope, not that she's your enemy. Try. Try to listen underneath the sharp words. There's usually a deeper message hiding there. I'm hurting. I'm scared. This isn't going well. I don't know how to reach you. What you're really seeing is her protective part and the part that flares up because she's afraid her softer emotions won't land safely. If, and this is a big if, I understand, if you can slow down, breathe, and hear the distress underneath her delivery, you'll respond differently. You won't take the bait of the tone, you'll hear the pain beneath it. Here are the two paths you might find yourself going down if you do become defensive. One is that defensive path. Here's what you might find yourself doing: explaining, correcting, minimizing, getting irritated, just plain walking away, making it about logic instead of emotion. I want to contrast that with the safe path, and this is safe for her. This means listening, asking her questions, staying curious, validating her experience, and owning your part, softening your tone. Men who take the safe road are the men whose wives stay emotionally and sexually engaged. Because for her, emotional safety is foreplay. A second thing I want you to do is share your own needs. Yes, beyond sex. Men, you have needs too, and not just physical ones. But here's one of the biggest mistakes I see husbands make: they shut off the emotional part of themselves and then wonder why their wife doesn't feel drawn to them. Your wife doesn't want a distant man who only reaches for her when he wants sex. She wants a man whose heart reaches toward her, too, as a person. She wants to feel connected to you, not just wanted physically, but wanted emotionally. And if we're being honest, a lot of us grew up believing that needing support or comfort was weakness. But to your wife, it's one of the most attractive things you can do. Seriously, guys, it makes her feel needed, included, and bonded with you. Here are some ways to share your needs vulnerably. You could even phrase these needs as prayer requests for your marriage if you and your wife are open to prayer. One is, I'm nervous about whether I'll be chosen for this opportunity at work. I could really use your support. This shows her that you trust her with your fears, not just with your strengths. Here's another one: I've been feeling a little discouraged this week, and hearing something kind from you would mean a lot to me. This models healthy emotional communication and normalizes mutual encouragement. Here's a third option: I need to lean on you a little right now. Just knowing you're with me helps me feel steady. This makes her feel like your partner, not just as an observer. So many wives tell me that their husbands never express that they need them. I want you to debunk this myth with your wife. When you share needs in a soft, honest way, something powerful has the potential to happen. She doesn't feel like an object you're trying to get something from. She feels like your person, your teammate, your partner, your safe place. And men, nothing opens a woman's heart and eventually, hopefully, her body more than feeling emotionally connected to the man she loves. Because when she feels drawn in emotionally, possibility opens up everywhere else. That difference is everything. Here's the third thing I want to share with you: lift her up because you can encourage her in a way no one else can. Every wife I meet is carrying more than her husband realizes. So ask her, what's weighing on you lately? Where are you feeling stretched thin? How can I be praying for you? Then set reminders to check in. Seriously, go to your Google Calendar or Outlook and set a reminder to yourself to check in with her. Don't shrug this off. That's a rookie move, and you're no rookie. If she has access to your calendar, I don't think she will hold it against you. Seriously, if she sees pray for and then she sees her name and something that matters to her, do you think that won't get you deposits in her emotional bank account? Guys, this is not weakness, it's leadership, it's maturity, and it is incredibly attractive to her. And by the way, if she does something that feels good to you, say it. Say it out loud. She picks up the house or pays you a compliment or touches your shoulder. You can say it. I appreciate how you pick up the house. Thank you for saying that. That means the world to me. I love your touch. It tells me you're thinking of me. We all like to be appreciated and tend to do more of what gets praised. But that isn't the main reason you're doing it. You're letting her know loud and clear that you are receiving her actions as kindness and caring. Every thoughtful act can be appreciated. And when you appreciate it, you make it something you appreciate about her and the relationship. And that has the power to draw you both closer together. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But this is the stuff intimacy is built on. Here's a fourth encouragement for you as men. For your lady, language matters. The words you use matter. So if you have a complaint about the relationship, the state of things, or what she just did, the temptation is to point out the delta between what you want and the current state of what is, and then communicate that missing piece, probably with a bit of frustration. It could sound like, "Why are you so upset?" This could go okay if she interprets it as you genuinely caring. Or she could notice her defenses pop up. She could see it this way: you've just pronounced your own judgment of what her emotional state is, and you're requiring an explanation for her attitude, which fails to meet your approval. Her answer to why has a low chance of giving you both the connection you want. It is just going to start the negative cycle you both go into. Instead, I want you to pick different words. I still want you to state what you want, and I want you to connect it to her or your relationship with her. So you say you're longing about your relationship to her and how you want to be connected to her. Use attachment language because ultimately she needs to feel wanted, and she needs to feel wanted specifically by you. Shift from impersonal to personal, from logistics to longing. Here are some reframes for you. Instead of, "Why are you upset?" say, "Something is going on for you. Will you help me understand?" Did you hear the difference? We have shifted from the story being about your irritation to compassion for her. She hears, "You see me and you care," which lowers defensiveness and opens connection. How about this one? "Whoa, whoa, whoa, calm down. You're overreacting." By the way, has this phrase ever gone well? I mean, in the history of marriage? Instead of that, say, "You're saying something you really need me to hear, and I can tell this is important. Help me understand what this brought up for you." It honors her emotional reality, which is crucial for safety. Instead of dismissing her, you open the door to deeper understanding. Now, what about this? What if she's prone toward criticism? You may be tempted to say, "You always assume the worst about me." Instead, I encourage you to say something like this: "When I hear that edge in your voice, I feel my body become tense, but I don't want to do that. I want to stay with you, and I want you to feel safe with me. What did I do that sent you the message that I'm not here for you?" This avoids exaggeration, that always word, and gets curious. Curiosity is disarming and signals emotional leadership. A fifth thing I want you to do is this: show her she means more to you than sex. This is a big one. Does your wife know she's more important than sex itself? Ask yourself: do I give non agenda touch? Do I compliment her? Do I pursue closeness without hinting at initiation? Do I show appreciation consistently? When she feels cherished, her heart opens. When her heart opens, her body quite often follows. In healthy marriages, emotional connection creates sexual connection, not the other way around. The path to more sex and less fighting is this: you want more passion, you want more closeness, you want more laughter, intimacy, and desire. Then start here. Respond instead of defend. Listen instead of react. Move toward her instead of pulling away. Own your part. Share your heart. Pursue her emotionally. Show her she matters more than your agenda for sex. Men who do this consistently have much better odds at a happier marriage with more sex, less fighting, and a wife who feels freer to initiate soft startups, a stronger connection, and a marriage that feels alive again. This is not because you mastered a technique, but because you became a safe man, a man she can open up to, a man she can trust, a man she can desire. And those, my friend, are the markers along the real path to a thriving marriage. Thanks for watching. If this gave you something to think about, hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey, I'm rooting for you.